Hello and welcome to Pony 411 Podcast. I'm Nemesis, and joining me is Alca7raz.
Hello.
And for once, we're actually in the same room because of, well, weird stuff that happens. But yeah, hey, what do you know?
Hey, what do you know?
Things happen. And also, we have another guest with us.
Hello. I am Princess Twilight Sparkle.
Isn't that just terrifying?
It is. It is quite terrifying.
So yeah, of course, we got a new episode to talk about. A very exciting episode, I think, for certain people. And we also have another fan video to talk about as well that just came out. But first, the return of Quick Hits. Yeah, we skipped them last week because we were busy introducing our new guy. But hey, gotta get to him eventually, or else they're just gonna pile up. And the last time that happened, it kind of got scary.
Yeah.
That was only 2 weeks. Because, if I did it last week, I would have covered like several months of stuff, and that would have gone bad.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's get going. Start off. BronyCon has opened registration for vendor booths. If you're a prospective purveyor of wares, you should check that out. And I wrote that thing, and that was a bad idea.
Yeah, that's like a tongue twister there for you.
For Everfree Northwest, another con has opened panel registration for their own. Those with potentially good ideas for a discussion, at a panel should apply. Because, those panels, those things you sit in line for and wait to hear other people talk. Yeah, if you have a good idea to go up there on the stage yourself, go for it. Who knows? They might say no, but yeah. And moving on, Episode 5, Flight to the Finish, has a longer synopsis thanks to AT&T Uverse. And it is, I quote, "While trying to win the prestigious duty of carrying Ponyville flag at the upcoming Equestria Games, the Cutie Mark Crusaders find themselves at odds with Scootaloo, who thinks that flying is the most impressive way to show their Ponyville pride."
It's a little interesting. Did we just... Oh, no, never mind. That's gonna tie in with the previous season, then.
Yeah, a little bit, because so far we've kind of established that Scootaloo can't fly.
Well, that's one thing, but the Equestria Games.
Yeah,
that was the ending of the last season, so that's a little interesting.
Which for some reason people thought was going to be the season finale. Ha!
Ha!
Nope.
Yeah, that's one episode I'm definitely looking forward to.
Yeah. Anyway, the herd census needs translators. If you are at least bilingual and fluent in French, Spanish, Russian, Japanese, or simplified Chinese, you should contact them at coderbrony@herdcensus.com. I mean, I'm not.
The only other language I even know a little bit of is German, but that's not enough to make a difference. But hey, if someone else does,
I know
that's
what
great.
that word means. I could do that. That's about it. Anyway, the Brony Thank You Fund has reached its $50,000 goal for their scholarship fund. That fund was for the animation scholarship at the California Institute of the Arts. So congratulations to them.
Yeah.
Previews are now available for issue 14 of the MLP comics, as well as the final issue of the microseries, that being the Luna issue. Check them out if you don't mind some mild spoilers, because if you want to go in spoiler-free, well, looking at pages isn't going to help that.
No.
I mean, both of those comics come out on December 18th, so just a few weeks from now. Well, anyway, they do come out. We're going to be both have them and look at them and probably talk about them here, so.
If I get them in time.
If you get them in time. Hope. Anyway, the Funko Mysterious Minis are showing up in stores. They are similar to the full-size Funko vinyl figures that have been popping up at Hot Topic and other stores, but it's at a smaller scale and cast in black vinyl.
Some of them, actually. They've shown a couple of them that have been sold. Most of them are in black, but there's some other colors as well.
See, I didn't know this. See,
Yes.
This is why I have this guy around for once. He actually proved useful for once.
Oh.
As it stands, there's no real way of knowing what you're getting until you actually open the box. Don't go stand in the store though and opening boxes and that sort of thing.
Yeah, they don't really like that.
So anyway, have fun trying to get your favorite pony.
Yeah, this is unlike the blind bags where there was those imprinted markers.
Yeah.
There's no markings on these boxes until you open them up and actually pull the vinyl out.
Indeed, and I think one of them is a glow-in-the-dark vinyl scratch.
I think a couple of them are glow in the dark,
Yeah.
actually.
So yeah, but most of them are black, just black with the main colors, correct. I'm not sure why, but hey, what do you know?
I'd have to check, but I think also they might have the cutie marks on both sides. That's just off the top of my head. I could be wrong, but that could be cool.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for a Twilight.
Of course you are.
Of course I am. Anyway, a new episode title showing up on Zap To It. It's called Rarity Takes Manhattan, which was leaked out quite a while ago, so this came as no surprise to anyone, but it's nice to have it confirmed. Unfortunately, there's no details as to what the episode's about, but it's obvious who the episode will focus on.
I think it's going to be Scootaloo.
I think it's going to be Snips
Oh.
and Twist.
What a twist!
Anyway, Megan McCarthy recently tweeted a string of numbers. Speculation abounds what it could possibly mean.
It looks like episode numbers. It was
Yeah,
from ones that we hadn't seen. It was like 5 up to 26.
Yeah. My guess? Songs. Episodes with songs in it.
That's actually a pretty good guess. I didn't actually think about that. I was just going to say, I got nothing, but
Or it could be episodes that involve the box.
possibly. We'll have to start seeing once, I think episode 5 is the first one.
Yeah, next week, Scootaloo.
We'll see what happens.
Anyway, a new Shout Factory DVD for MLP is showing up called A Dash of Awesome. Clearly, this DVD has a Dash-focused episodes on it, but one of those episodes is one yet to air or even been announced, and it's called Rainbow Falls.
Which I think might have something to do with Winsome Falls from last season. Well, they're rainbows falling from the clouds, and that's where they went, so it would make sense. But this is most definitely one DVD I'm going to have to get.
Of course you're going to have to get it.
Yes.
It's got Worst Pony on it. I mean, what?
I heard that. Best pony on it. What you talking about?
Anyway, BabsCon has had 2 announcements this week. One, that unfortunately Tabitha St. Germain will no longer be able to attend.
Aw.
But, in her place, they announced another guest. Tara Strong.
Meh.
Who has not been... I will hurt you. Who has not been... Who's not showing up at a PonyCon in a while. Ever since Unicon disaster.
Yeah.
So, maybe she'll start showing up at other cons like, Everfree Northwest, cough, cough. Anyway, BabsCon will be on April 18th to 20th, 2014 at the SFO Hyatt Regency Hotel in Burlingame, California.
I'd like to see Ashley start showing up at some of those, but
Yeah,
that might just be personal
she's
reasons.
Busy, though, with her band
Yeah,
thing,
she's got her band, so I really hope they come out again. I missed them in Seattle last time. I need to go check them out next time.
And also, we finally got an official soundtrack release!
Yay!
Granted, it's only select songs from season 1 and 2, but it's something. And it's available digitally only via Google Play and iTunes for about $10, tax or whatever.
Yeah, it was just, after tax, it was just over $10, but still under 11.
And by the way, it seems like Equestria Girls will be getting a soundtrack release sometime either really late this year or early next year is what Daniel Ingham tweeted, I believe.
Yeah, I'd have to go and check the tweet.
He also
but he
is
did tweet
implying that season 3 and 4 will also get its own release, so we're gonna have to wait a while for that one though, if they're together like this one.
Yeah, I'm hoping, since it's only select songs from the first 2 seasons on this one, that maybe if there's enough interest, they might come out with a soundtrack volume 2 for the first and second seasons, and maybe do another 2 volumes for the third.
Or maybe
and fourth
collectors really have to buy the whole thing again.
Possibly. I know there's quite a few of us who would.
Yes, we would. But yeah, sorry, I just want the season 3 and 4 one just because I want to have the songs from Magical Mystery Cure. I don't care if anyone else.
And maybe they'll have an extended version of the Celestia's
Oh yeah,
ballad.
Celestia's ballad. I forgot. Yeah, there's the extended version he talked about, which I'm not sure if he actually ever recorded the full extended version or if it was written out and never recorded.
Oh, we'll have to see.
We'll have to see. Anyway, Legends of Equestria, the fan-made MMO, has announced an open server weekend. If you've been interested in the game, your chance to play it will be January 24th to 26th in 2014. So that's next month. Personally, I'm not an MMO person, but hey.
Same here, but it's cool.
Anyway, and finally, our final piece of news, Ponies the Anthology 3 has finally been released. If you want to watch the hour and 14-minute video, just go to the link in the description or in our podcast show notes.
Yeah, I watched that last night. It took a lot of willpower not to wake the entire house laughing. It was amazing.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about just a little. As you probably figured out, we're going to talk about it a little bit because we both watched it. The night of its premiere.
Yeah.
Although not live, I was busy at the time.
Same.
So, yeah. Like I said, hour and 14 minutes, which is a little bit shorter than 2, but still way longer than 1. And if you don't know what the anthology series is, it's basically a set of like little skits set to like audio from like other things like movies, TV shows, and games and stuff, and just also general new animation and jokes based off the show. It's just a bunch of series of skits. Kind of Robot. If you know what Robot Chicken is, it's kind of like that. And overall, I really enjoyed it for the most part. And I'm getting from what you just said.
Well, it was great. I was laughing. I was trying not to laugh actually because it was late at night. But yeah, it's definitely something people got to watch. It's great. If you got the time to do it, just go watch it.
Yeah, I guess if you were gonna watch a movie, watch this instead.
Yes, yeah, basically. And it doesn't matter what movie it is, just go watch this instead.
Yeah. I honestly though, even though I did enjoy it, I do think 2 was overall better. I think some of more of the skits here were a little bit weak because it's a skit thing. So and because of the different authors and stuff of all the skits, yes, you're gonna have a few flat ones or ones that just don't ring with you or whatever. But yeah, there's a couple skits I were like, it's okay, I guess. Or I was like, I don't get it, really.
Yeah, but that's just like a personal thing. I haven't seen it's like inside jokes.
Yeah. And I also noticed they used a lot of Source Filmmaker this time around.
They did the whole thing was themed around Half-Life 3,
yes,
so that does make sense.
Yeah, it's just so there's a lot of Source Filmmaker. So if you're one of those people who thinks the Gmod ponies are creepy,
I have nothing wrong with them. I thought they were great.
One particular one stood out for me, but this is for personal reasons, was the Zoom gas skit, which a lot of people are like, why is that so funny to you? And for me, it's because me and a couple friends and I all watched the movie it was from, which is this horrifyingly bad Chuck E. Cheese movie with, live action with people in the suits and everything. It's and horrible 3D anime. It's awful, but that's why it's so funny. And that song is from it, and that's why I was laughing. I was laughing more about the fact that I was like, oh wow, they actually dug this up. Also, one thing I really liked was the opening, when the Paper Mario style opening they did for the
that was
really awesome.
Good. The music fit into it. It didn't actually, it wasn't a joke. It was it was just really well done. I definitely enjoyed that. Like a walkthrough of everything we've seen so far. In the show. Yeah,
and it's also obvious they were working off this the last second because there's a few season 4 things in there too.
Yeah,
it's like
they didn't have much time to get that in there.
Yeah, it got it. It must have been stuff that got in the very last second because
Fortunately, because it's a skit based thing, they can do that. They can they work on each individual piece and compile them all together. So adding or removing things isn't as hard as it is for something else.
Right. It's not like we have to redo the whole thing now.
Yay!
To be honest, though, they had this big, long segment dedicated to Equestria Girls, and that also at times felt a little mean-spirited.
It did. Yeah, I think it could have been done a little bit better.
Working on it.
Yeah,
angry.
A little. It seemed like they really didn't like it, which I mean, it wasn't super good, but it wasn't that bad.
Like I said this before, not here, but I've said it before. It's okay. It's merely okay.
It's okay, yeah.
It's not the most horrible thing I've ever watched.
Yeah.
Nowhere near the most horrible thing I've ever watched. That might actually go to the something else, which I'm not going to even talk about here.
Well, now that you've already brought it up, thanks.
That dog with that human teeth. Anyway.
Thank you for that imagery. Anyway.
Speaking with this Equestria Girls thing, if they actually do release a soundtrack for that, I'm going to buy just for the 2. I'm hoping they're going to, if they have the theme song remix, I'm totally buying it for sure.
The theme song remix. And then the
cafeteria song.
The cafeteria song.
Those are the only 2. Everything else, like, whatever.
Yeah. Those are the only 2 that I even remember, really.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of remember the other ones just only because I watched it multiple times.
Oh,
for review, and, the first time, then the review, and then making him watch it.
Yeah.
I made him watch it.
That was interesting. Yes. We'll just leave it at that. That was interesting.
That was a thing.
That was a thing that happened, yes.
Is there any particular skit anyway, getting back to Anthology, is there any particular skit that you really enjoyed that we haven't mentioned yet?
Don't think that we've mentioned yet. None that comes off the top of my head. It was pretty all... Well, the very ending one, no. Where they had the clip of M.A. Larson.
Oh, yeah.
At the end, where they did the season 3 premiere as she blows up. And then have
finale, right?
The finale, that's what I meant to say. I always get that mixed up.
Because Selma blew up in the premiere.
Yeah, Selma blew up in the premiere, but Twilight blew up in the finale. But they have that scene where she blows up and then it pauses and have a cut out, a little superimposed where M.A. Larson jumps out. She's dead! The end! That took so much effort not to just
in
bust
case you
out
haven't-
laughing.
not surprising. There's a lot of Alicorn jokes in this. They kind
A
of
lot.
imply that there's going to be a lot, but it's not. It's not all Alicorn jokes.
Yeah.
This time around, there's definitely a lot more new stuff, like original content, rather than before, where they just took audio from other things and just put it over.
Yeah.
And it still works for the most part. I mean, one thing I like the Aqua Teen Hunger Force stuff with the gentleman. Behold, I love it.
Corn. It's nothing like before, is it?
I did like the M. Air Larson.
Yeah. That was the movie that they referenced. Buzz the
Top
Tower.
Gun. Buzzing the Tower, Top Gun.
Yeah, Top Gun. That's what it was.
That's why part of the reason I liked that. Just buzzing the tower. I liked the bit at the very end. I don't want to talk about it too much, but yeah, the bit at the very end, I like that. There's a lot of the Gmod stuff is actually that's that one Gmod thing, the full blown parody of Full Life Consequences.
Oh,
it's like that was okay, I guess.
I didn't.
A for effort, but
yeah.
I mean, they kind of did their own. They kind of riffed off it, and they kind of went off, made it a little short, and did their own thing a little bit. But yeah, it's just like you're doing a parody of a parody, and it's like
yeah, and I felt it was kind of
actually a parody of a parody of a parody.
Yes.
So now you're getting Inception.
I mean, really
type stuff.
The whole Full Life Consequences was funny because how bad it was, but then when you parody something to make it that bad on purpose, it kind of loses something, I think.
Yeah, it lost something in translation. I mean, I almost felt like you could have titled that section "Fan Fiction in a Nutshell."
Yes, but then they also had that, and they're also, I think, really close to that. They had 2 references to the OCs.
Oh yeah, there's that.
Those were hilarious, but then you had this other OC joke doing something else. It could have been worse.
There's a couple callbacks to previous anthology things too, as well.
I think so, yeah.
Including. I'm trying to think of which one it was. I'm trying now. I know they're there, but now I'm trying to remember where.
Yeah, it's
like that one song. What you say?
What you say?
Yeah, that one.
Yes.
Hide and Seek.
Hide and Seek by Imogen Heap.
That's it. I can never remember the actual name.
Yeah.
Until I start thinking. And
I actually do kind of like that song.
Yeah, so do I. But yeah, I just remember the. Yeah, they did that before and they did it again, except in different contexts. I know they called back a couple other things.
It's been a couple hours since we've seen it.
Yeah, it was last night, so there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, hour and 14 minutes worth of content.
And it's it's not like where you just all connected, it's just easy to remember. It's all completely separate. So it's like I was surprised they didn't actually go for another Portal thing this time because I almost felt like a tradition after the last 2.
Yeah.
But Half-Life this time. So
one of the things that they did with the EQG one, where they reference Half-Life in it.
Oh yeah, that was the best one I think of the entire Equestria Girls parody block. That was the best part. Was just the
looking at the hands and doing the sound you get when you first get into your suit.
And in Half-Life 2, that was the best thing.
That was great.
Twilight Freemain. Overall, really enjoyable. Few flat spots, but
definitely something you gotta go and watch.
Something to definitely go look at. Just for this.
Yeah, just go watch it. It's great. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah, you'll probably enjoy it. I mean, honestly though, if you're one of those people that like, I hate it when everyone puts ponies and everything, well, you're not gonna like this because they're crossing ponies over with a lot of stuff.
That's kind of the point of that, is to put ponies in everything. So
at this anyway.
Yeah.
And then so I guess we should just go ahead and move on to the episode now that we're kind of stuttering and going a lot. So anyway, the last episode 4 of season 4, Daring Don't.
Nice little play on the Daring Do name. Yes.
Good. I'm not repeating it. Anyway, so as you figure out, hey, it's about Daring Do. And anyway, this basically the story is, Dash is super excited for the next book, and she's really excited for it. And she finds out from Twilight the book's been delayed for 2 months. Yeah. Surprise. Dash is not taking that very well, so she decides something must be wrong. We better go help her, right? So they go to help her, and wow, why is her house trash? And they find the the author, A.K. Yearling.
A.K. Yearling.
Yeah, A.K. Yearling. I couldn't remember the second initial for a second.
Yeah.
I was like, it's A something Yearling. Anyway, yeah. So they find, she's upset. She thinks that they trashed the house, and then she freaks out, panicking. She finds some gold ring in a book, and then some thugs come in and try to take it, and they take the ring, and then turns out, A.K. Yearling is Daring Do.
Gosh.
What a surprise! I mean, it's not like she looked exactly like her, except with the hat and glasses on. And
That's all you need for a disguise, isn't it? Just put on a pair of
Apparently.
glasses. Yeah.
Anyway, so they take it and they plan to sell it to
Awizodal.
Azodal. What's his name?
Awizodal.
What's his name?
Yeah.
Um,
That's later in the episode. That foreshadowing.
and so they, but of course he gets it anyway, and they have to go stop him. And there's a lot of fight scenes, and then Dash learns a lesson about basically how well. I'm actually not sure if this is a good lesson or not.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting one for what lesson. It's
okay. Daring Do learns that maybe I can accept help, and Dash learns that maybe she doesn't have to do the whole hero worship thing so much.
Yeah.
And they save the day, and Dash gets an early copy of the book.
Yay.
The end. So anyway, overall, quick, what'd you think?
Well, let's just put it this way: it's taking a lot to not just start squeeing like a little girl.
You don't want to hear that. It's scary.
No, you don't, which is why I'm not. But yes, that sums it up pretty well. I absolutely loved it for obvious reasons. It's Rainbow Dash, so yes. I think just for Rainbow Dash, there was a lot of character development for her. It was just great. There's a couple quick little things in the episode though that I found kind of funny. Like during the party scene, they're all wearing funny hats. You notice that?
Yes, every single one of them.
Everything except for Pinky and Dash, they just had normal party hats. And Twilight, though Twilight's was a little bit interesting. They all had references to cutie marks.
Yeah.
And
Pinky's was actually a fez.
yeah, Pinky had a big purple fez with
her
gold leaf cutie mark on it,
and a gold tassel.
and it's a fez, of course.
Yeah.
But AJ had that giant freaking red hat. Giant freaking hat.
The giant hat with apples all over it.
And Rarity had her tiara. I can't actually remember what Fluttershy had.
I know it was purple.
Yeah, I
think
can't
it's
remember.
a top hat, almost something like that.
Yeah, it was something like that. It was one of those. Anyway, it was.
That whole party scene was actually pretty great.
But one thing, Twilight put her party hat, which
Over
had her cutie mark, over her horn, which was kind of neat actually.
Yeah,
and then it glows when she knows magic. It was like, that's interesting.
That's the thing.
That's smart.
Okay, fall off then.
Yeah, it won't fall, or it won't sit funny because there's a horn in the way. You won't have to sit way behind your head to not hit the horn. Just put it over top the horn.
Just put it on the horn.
A couple of them. Another one. During this scene, the three thugs that show up to try and take the ring from Daring Do, or Yearling. No, it's Daring Do at this point, because it's revealed right then. One of them, a lot of people have already noticed, looks a lot like Ganondorf from Zelda.
A little. But they're supposed to. I think they're supposed to be generic thugs.
I don't know if that's if it's supposed to, but it looks like. But this fandom, people are gonna run with it. I know.
Of course they are.
But
they took a brown pony who looked vaguely like someone in real life and decided he's the Doctor.
Okay, well I like the Doctor, and I still think he looks like Tennant. But anyway, the whole ring thing, that was a subtle Lord of the Rings reference there too. When they accidentally toss the ring into the fire and it starts glowing, I was wanting to see something show up on there.
And of course, the whole episode is pretty much one giant Indiana Jones reference.
Yes,
including the Doctor coming up and taking the item from her. It's like,
well, yeah.
Does this remind you of anything?
Yes.
And some people have pointed out that the hat that Daring Do was wearing when she was disguised as Yearling looks a lot like Indiana Jones's father's hat.
Yeah.
In the third movie, so.
Yeah.
It might also be intentional because, hey, this whole thing was very much Indiana Jones, so you had to.
Yeah, Daring Do's always been an Indiana Jones reference, so it does make sense that it's going to be all like that. But the subtle Lord of the Rings reference kind of tossed in there too was kind of neat.
Yeah.
After that, the Twilight and Rainbow Dash nerding out.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
That was awesome. That really was.
In this book.
It's. I read into that a little bit more than some other people might, but that was just a great.
Gee, I wonder how he's reading into that.
Don't get in the way of my Yeah, no. Or, and the next one, the smug face.
Oh man, that face.
That face.
That face. You could take that scene right there and just title it shippers.mp4.
You can do so many. Well, if you take the face out, if you take that face out of context, you can make that face be anything.
I know, but
like
that scene right there, because the dialogue right before that, it's like,
yes,
you know,
it was,
I know you love me, but
I know you love me, but I can't give you the ring till I properly propose.
Exactly. It's like that dialogue plus that face. Someone
Oh.
needs to do this. If someone else doesn't do it, I will. I'll just take that scene and call it shippers.mp4.
Yeah. And the other little quick thing, the ending of the episode,
Yes,
was that Rainbow's house?
I believe so.
Holy crap!
Well, we have seen the outside before. The thing looks massive.
It's one, yeah, but holy crap, that's not small. I mean, compare that to any of the other houses we've seen. I don't know, maybe it's just, super easy to build cloud houses, though that looked quite solid. Marble architecture, giant Wonderbolt statue.
I mean,
How did she get a huge freaking house?
well, most people are like, I've noticed the Fanon has always been, she just built it herself.
yeah,
She manipulates
that's
clouds
one
all
of
the time. She
that's,
just kind of.
if it is made out of clouds and purely made out of clouds, I could see it being really, really easy to do that. But we don't really have a huge amount of details on how that's done. But holy crap!
Yeah. It also makes sense for it to be wide and open because she likes flying around in wide open spaces. So.
Yes, and that would be a Pegasus thing. That's something I'd like to see, is maybe more Pegasus houses, cloud houses. Just so we one, because I like Pegasus, but Pegasi. But also because it would just be cool to have something else to compare to, because we don't really, other than seeing Cloudsdale, but that's all usually big facilities that we've seen.
Cloudsdale, and which also makes sense as to why Dash makes hers all with the Greek.
Yes.
column,
Well,
rope/Roman
yeah,
columns.
they tend to, Pegasi do tend to.
The clouds, yeah, it's been
Reference that.
obvious. They kind of made it obvious that the Pegasus culture is very.
It's very based
Greco-Roman.
on the Greek Roman type stuff, so just actually kinda
Unicorn
neat.
seems to be more medieval King Arthur type stuff, and I'm not sure what Earth Pony is.
I think
Dirt.
about the same as the
It's
unicorn.
based on dirt.
It's about the same era as unicorn, but more of the farmers and the peasants
Yeah.
side of things, where the unicorns tend to side more to the higher class, living in the castles compared to the suburbs and such outside. But yeah, but another thing, the diary was in. If that's her house, the diary's in her house. One, it's on a pedestal. That's kind of neat. That
Yeah.
she's putting it on a pedestal, but in her house, is it one diary, or are they keeping separate diaries?
Probably just one diary. Probably just here. You need it.
Oh.
Think about it, I mean, Dash.
But
is
it was
the one-
sitting on a pedestal. Usually you don't keep a pedestal around for something you're only borrowing. So maybe they're keeping a separate diary. I don't know.
Maybe.
We'd have to
I-
see
I
more
noticed
episodes.
the Twilight's mark was on it.
Yeah, so I don't know, because, I mean, they didn't
You
give
don't
much
know.
details
I don't
on
think
that.
it really that matters that much whether it's separate or one shared diary,
But-
though. But
But in this fandom, we have to find every little
we
thing.
have to know everything.
We have to know everything and take every little detail and blow it up.
And then-
So,
take it out of context.
yes.
But Twilight's mom is supposed to be Daring Do's author.
What? No! Actually, that is kind of funny. One of the fanfics I'm reading just shortly before this episode came out,
Yep.
the fanfic met the author, but the author doesn't match what we now see.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's one of those.
Oh, that just got killed by canon. So I'm wondering if they're going to just leave it or
Yep.
retcon it.
It's always the danger about writing fan fiction or something is that when the show is still ongoing, you're gonna always run the danger of
Canon fodder.
your fanfic might just get blown away by canon at one point.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, now you're gonna be the mature person and just accept it and either change it if you can or just
Or just
accept
say,
that you're an alternate
I know,
universe,
but we can't change it.
or you're gonna throw a fit and yell at the writers saying that they're wrong and you're right with how dare they destroy your fanfic.
Yeah. I've never understood that.
Which I was
that
actually kind of
mentality.
hoping this episode would kind of almost deal with. That would have been funny.
Oh, yeah, there was a lot that they could have done. I'm wondering how much
would've
they
been-
wanted to, but couldn't.
I would have loved to see Dash getting angry about, why are you writing her that way? That's not right.
It was definitely fun. I could see a lot of places in this episode where they could have made references to this very fandom and the insanities that we've had.
I would
But
have laughed.
That's
so
one of the.
hard.
It would make like half of us would be
Laughing.
enthralled and we'd be laughing about it, and the other half would be completely pissed.
I'm not sure if the half.
Well, maybe not half, but a very vocal majority.
Very vocal, loud people
would
would
throw a fit. It's one of those. They wonder if they wanted to but couldn't,
or decided not to.
They wanted to, but it's not the greatest idea. Yeah.
I think it was the best idea, but
Yeah. Well, you don't have to suffer their consequences by doing it.
maybe someday.
They would have to deal with it, but yeah,
Maybe someday.
maybe.
I mean, I know the comic book writers and artists are definitely not as hesitant about calling out the fandom on their crap sometimes.
Yeah, I think the comic book guys can get away with it a little bit more.
I think they're just more willing to because they were part of the fandom at one point. So
yeah. Also, the audience is completely different. That's another thing to take into account. The comic books are not as lean towards young girls as the show is,
right.
so they can get away with more things. So that's another one. One other thing. Overall thoughts on the episode. It was fast paced.
Yeah, very fast.
But it needed to be. It was supposed to. I mean, all the action such. In order to keep that all going, it needs to be a bit fast paced.
Also, it was a Dash episode.
It was. So it fits things. I did feel that the very ending, once they rejoin up in the temple, from that point to the end, it got a bit light on details. There wasn't as much meat, I want to say,
okay,
to
wrap
it.
it up.
Yeah, and I want to say it's probably due to time constraints. I mean, we had, like, when Daring got rescued, she smiled and accepted help all of a sudden. Which is rather sudden to me. It feels like there could have been.
At it almost looks like, I'm just tolerating you right now.
Yeah, that's not what it looked like to me, but she accepted it.
She accepted it, but she's like, oh.
She accepted it, and from that point, it seems like it feels
it's that
more
weird,
like
unhappy smile.
Yeah, but the whole area feels like it seems like they kind of crammed some things in there a little bit, but yeah, overall, yeah, I was trying not to squeal like a little girl.
You probably failed.
No, actually, I didn't.
Oh,
I didn't.
Surprise.
Which is a good thing because everyone else was home. I would have had a bunch of questions. Why are you squealing like a little? It's just nothing.
Nothing. Leave no evidence.
Yeah. But great episode. I'm hoping we get more.
I'm of the opinion it was a good episode, despite the Rainbow Dash focus. Come at me, bro.
Don't tempt me.
I'll trip over something.
Just remember, you'd get in trouble if something happened to me here.
Anyway, the animation is overall pretty good, although, as most people have noticed, there was one very major error. The fifth leg.
Oh, yeah.
At least supposedly. I went back and looked at it. I don't see it.
I think that may have been
if it was an edit
or something.
Someone cheated.
I think it may have been an edit. I think I know. Is that the dive kick thing?
Yeah, the kick thing.
I think that was an edit.
Scene.
I think that was an edit someone did.
Of course, this fandom.
Yeah, this fandom.
Actually, every fandom.
I think from what I recall seeing, they took the snapshot of the dive kick, copied one of her legs, the one behind her, mirrored it, and put it on the other side.
That's probably what happened. But I know there was another major animation error. Apparently, Megan McCarthy said on Twitter about the birds. Something they were supposed to be colored and they weren't.
Oh, oops.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, something like that's small.
Yeah, you can get away with that one, but yeah.
It's not the first animation error they ever met.
Definitely not.
The one from season 1 finale, the blue one that for one frame the face just got all messed up.
Yeah, that was a serious error.
And then we have the derpy animation error. Yeah, that's completely different.
Yeah, this of course, every show has its share of
it
errors
happens
like that.
Even not in
like
animation
stuff like I remember in Luna Eclipse, Luna having a piece of hair that was the old hairstyle. This one piece of her old hairstyle was all of a sudden there, or you'll see sometimes the rigs for the puppets are not lining up properly, so you see gaps in the outlines and stuff.
Gaps in the outline, or the lines don't flow properly,
or they'll just slightly misaligned. So it's
yep. And drive people with OCD mad.
I know.
Yes. Yes. Right there with you.
Oh yeah, 2 Wilhelm screams this episode. 2. One during the initial cat fight.
Cat fight.
and then there's one when they're escaping the temple.
I think
It's very quiet during that one.
Yeah, that
but
one's
it's
really.
there.
Yeah, the first one's obvious.
Yeah, it's very obvious. I mean, they've been putting that in a lot lately.
I'm noticing that. Hoping they don't do it too much because it'll just start getting old if they keep this up.
Yeah, because there was another one in the premiere.
Yeah.
I could have sworn there was one in Castlevania, but I think I'm wrong.
I can't remember. I have to
Yeah, I
go back
can't
and watch
remember,
it.
but I don't think there was. I thought there was for a second, but yeah, this is at least second and third
Yeah.
in one episode.
In one episode.
So yeah, they kind of need to I think they probably should kind of cool down the Wilhelm scream for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, they should. They probably should.
Because at this point, it's almost like, where's the Wilhelm scream?
Yeah. It's like Waldo's turned into an audio clip.
I know they confirmed Derpy. I didn't see Derpy at all, but they confirmed she returned, so whatever.
Yes. They had that one orange maned.
Yeah.
It was Derpy, but orange mane.
Yep.
So that was a
And it
little
was
weird.
correct
That
eyes,
was
too.
last couple episodes. So.
And non-derp dies.
Yeah.
Oh well. That's another recolor.
Yeah, just another recolor. Just happens to
Pound
be
of
the-
merchandise!
Yes. I don't think that one would look very good in merchandise. So the orange hair did not fit the gray.
No. Yeah.
It was kind of ugly, really.
Yeah, so yeah, and another thing I wanted to talk about is people were all freaked out. Some people freaking out because no mention of the boxes episode. Like, oh no, they're abandoning the storyline already. It's like,
No, they're not.
it's
They
like-
got 26 episodes,
yeah,
and there's only
a
6
season-long
keyholes on the
a
box.
season-long storyline. Not every episode is going to even touch on it. I mean, this happens every show. Like, they'll have a long storyline, but not every episode touches the long
Yeah.
one.
And with 26 episodes, I mean,
You have a lot. Plus,
That's
we only
a
have
lot.
6 keys to find.
Yeah.
You don't have to have every episode devoted to finding the keys.
yeah.
Or even mentioning it, because it's like sometimes they're going to be doing things that don't involve keys
Yes.
or boxes
Yes.
or hats. I mean, wait, this isn't TF2.
This isn't TF2. Wait a minute.
I also one detail noticed that the hench ponies, I guess,
Hench ponies.
their cutie marks were all like little fighting things, like the standard fighting symbols, like that weird explodey outline or the question mark. Yeah, they're just all fight stuff. So it's like, well, I don't know what they're actually called or anything, but I just kind of resorted to calling them Biff, Bam, and Pow.
That works. It's
I mean, why not?
why not? So then we get the
Make that official, everyone. Go. Go.
call them Biff, Bam, and Pound. So one of them was the Ganondorf one, so we'll see what happens with that. But I don't know.
Internet fight. What's her name? His name. It's always been the thing. What's their name?
What's their name? I don't know.
So, yes, great episode again. So yeah, it looks like this season and so far has been firing all cylinders. Because I'll be honest, previous seasons Rainbow Dash episodes kind of been really weak. Well,
There
except for
were
one
some
Academy. That was
some
really good, but-
there were a couple weak ones, but you're also biased against it.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Personal bias. I wish they had more Twilight stuff because she's just a big of a fan of the books as Dash is, but whatever.
No, this was good where it was.
No, it wasn't.
This was good where it was.
No, it wasn't. I know you want more fodder.
No.
No, he says. No, he says. He's lying.
I'm not lying.
He's a compulsive.
Yeah.
liar.
That's about all I can say about that episode for now.
That's not a plan. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Another thing I really loved was the bit where Dash kept punching herself. That was the greatest. That was honestly my favorite scene because it was just so funny. Just like actually, that's the thing that most people don't do in these things. So it's like this is starting to hurt.
Starting to
Most
hurt.
people don't really do that after
Yeah.
doing that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, and I did like the callback to the kitten thing.
Yes.
Read It and Weep.
They used. I think it was actually all the same cats they used.
I know
Read
it's
and
all the
Weep.
same cats. I just
kitten.
actually like they brought back the
They
kitten.
brought back or the one scene after the first round of fights that Daring was going through.
Mhm.
The kitten came back with a black eye.
Yeah, that was pretty good because right before that you see her get kicked in the head.
Yeah, and then he comes running back with a big black eye. It's like,
Animal abuse. PETA will hear of this.
yeah.
Or
that
the
would be scary.
ASPCA or whatever. Oh, and the ending book, Dash gets it a week early and stuff, and she's on the cover, and it's obvious she's short round. Which, if you remember Indiana Jones, everyone hates short round. I'm just saying. And I'm just saying it'd be funny. This would be a good like little ficklet. Would be if someone wrote how Dash reacts to the way she's written in the book.
It
would be funny. Admit this.
It could be funny.
Depending on how it's done. It's like if she was written poorly or like as an annoying sidekick. It would be funny if annoying sidekick was like an annoying catchphrase or something. Like Scrappy Doo.
God. Oh God.
I'm just saying that would actually be funny, but
yeah, well,
like if there's that one
it'd have to
Tumblr
be
that
done
guy
well.
makes with the little gifs of the pony emotes acting out like deleted scenes and stuff.
Yeah.
He did that sort of thing, or was Dash completely missed the point?
Yeah.
Okay, I already know this. I waited all. That's the good point. She waited all this time for this, and she already knows how it ends.
She already knows how it ends.
Oh. See, that's what happens when you watch episodes early.
Yes.
Or you go, oh, look, all this stuff is leaking out. I'm going to go look at it.
That's what happens when you watch all the leaks. And then go watch the episode, and then
You
you
already
already
know
know
what
what happens. Kind of ruins it.
This is so good, you want to watch it again.
Yes.
In which case, everything is okay.
Yes. Which I actually did. What is it, 4 times I've watched this episode already?
Yes.
Yeah, 4 times.
4 times. You've only watched it twice.
Yeah, well, how many times did you watch the series 3 finale?
4? 5?
There you go.
5?
So you got no room to talk.
Okay, I watched the premiere like 2 or 3 times too, so. Of 4, so. Yeah, so he loves it. I liked it. Of course he loves it.
Of course I love it. There's a couple of these coming up. Like the next one.
Do
that
X
I
dash
think-
fiction. Go.
No.
You know it's coming. It's already out there.
They've had those.
You know a landslide of it's coming.
There's gonna be a landslide. There's already been
There's
out
like
there.
a landslide of
before.
Twidash after the finale, season 3 finale, or after Read It and Weep,
Yeah.
or after the season 3 premiere, tons of Jack.
Yes.
The shippers are out there.
The shippers are everywhere. Everywhere.
They're right behind you.
God.
So yeah, I think we babbled on a bit long.
Maybe a little.
Maybe a little. It's not
Maybe
too
a little.
bad.
Not too
I
bad.
mean, not compared to some of the episodes I've been on where we're going for almost 2 hours. This isn't too bad.
Yeah, we're still under the 40.
Yeah, we're
still
within the
45
40s.
minutes.
We're good.
Yeah.
Hope you're good. Hope you're not, having ear sores or anything. That would be bad. I would honestly blame other things. You're probably, I don't know, listening to terrible music or something. That's definitely not.
Why are you listening to
not
music
well.
while listening to our podcast? Do nothing while listening to our podcast.
Exactly. So anyway, if you actually enjoyed this episode, we have other episodes as well. We're pony401.libsyn.com. That's LIBSYN. That's where you can go to download it. If you want to just watch it on a stream or something, even though you wouldn't be want to do much watching, it's on youtube.com/pony411. We're also on Twitter at Pony401. You can also follow me at Nemesis Prime 1, and you can follow him at _Alcatraz_ with a 7 instead of a T.
Yes, it's always a fun one to explain to people.
Yes. Well, that's why, we also put it in the YouTube description because then you can just click the link and hey, there you are.
Yay.
And of course, you can, if you have questions or comments or whatever, you can also email us. I forgot to say this last week because it's been a long time. Anyway, pony411podcast@gmail.com. That is where you can contact us if you say, hey, I'm doing a fan thing. I want to have an interview or something. Or if you just want to point something out to us that, maybe no one else has talked about yet or something. Or you just want to say how much we suck. I'll accept that too, even though I'll get angry and probably punch things, but hey, I'll accept it. Eventually.
Eventually.
We're going to, like I said, we're going to try to do this every week still, so...
Times may vary, but we'll still try.
Yeah, times may still vary. This might not come out till Monday afternoon. I don't know yet. We'll find out. So, once again, this is the Pony 411 podcast. I'm Nemesis.
I'm Alcatraz.
And we shall see you next week. But in the meantime, please pony responsibly.
Yes.
Bye, guys.